much to say about the Lord your God who saved you, who has been with you up to this time. There is so much to say about God that is bigger than the pain, that is bigger than the betrayal, that is bigger than everything that man might throw you away. There is something that each one of us has got in our lives and in our mouths that we can say, this is our God. We can still speak about him no matter where we are, no matter where we stand, no matter what has been thrown against you. There is something that you can say about God. So she despises the shame of captivity and says of God who is in Israel. And Naaman went in, verse 4, and told his master, saying, thus and thus said the girl who is from the land of Israel. Then the king of Syria said, go now, and I will send a letter to the king of Israel. So he departed and took with him 10 talents of silver, 6,000 shekels of gold, and 10 changes of clothing. Then he brought the letter to the king of Israel, which said, now be advised when this letter comes to you, that I have sent Naaman my servant to you, that you may heal him of his leprosy. And it happened when the king of Israel read the letter, that he tore his clothes and said, am I God to kill and to make alive? That this man sends a man to me to heal him of his leprosy? Therefore, please consider and see how he seeks a quarrel with me. So it was when Elisha, the man of God, heard the king of Israel had torn his clothes, that he sent to the king, saying, why have you torn your clothes? Please, let him come to me, and he shall know that there is a prophet in Israel. Let him come unto me. Why is it that you have torn your clothes? Let him come unto me, and he will know that there is a prophet in Israel. Glory be to the name of the Lord. Surprising, the girl in captivity speaks about the prophet of God who is in Samaria. The king in Samaria, when the same situation is brought before him, he tears his clothes and he says that this man is seeking for war. He cannot read beyond the letter. What he sees is now the armies of Syria coming against him. What he sees is the war that is being organized. When you are afraid, you will run away from things that do not exist. You will run away from things that have not been planned. He says, this man is seeking for war. Why is he sending me Naaman? I'm not in the place of God. I'm not there to give life. I'm not there to kill. In other words, there is nothing I can do concerning this man, Naaman. Yet the slave girl in the land of captivity, yes, the slave girl in Syria, is saying, and she's not afraid to say it, that there is a man in Israel, there is a man in Samaria who can deal with this thing. The king in the land cannot see it. Glory be to the name of the Lord. The king in the land cannot see it. And the juniors who have been taken captive, they can see what the Lord is able to do. They can see the power of God. Yet the king is blind to the things that God has been doing around the area. Glory be to the name of the Lord. Say, Lord, give me sight. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And he tore his clothes. And the information goes to the prophet. And he says, why have you torn your clothes? Send the man to me, and he will know that there is a prophet in Israel. The woman, the girl knew there is a prophet in Israel. The king does not realize there is a prophet in Israel. Is it that he did not know about Elisha? Is it that he did not know about the existences of Elisha? Is it that he had not heard anything concerning Elisha? I doubt that. He must have heard about Elisha. He must have heard how he served Elijah. He must have heard how he received the mantle from Elijah. He must have heard the things that Elisha was doing. But he was blind to the things of God. He was blind to the prophet in the land. May your eyes not be blinded concerning your prophet, that you will be able to see your prophet. Wherever you are, you will know that you have a man of God over your life. A man of God who can speak over your situations. A man of God who can declare, this is what the Lord says. A man of God over your life who can lead you in the way of the Lord. A man of God whom you can trust in times of darkness and say, Lord, because of your man of God, because of the word that you have given to your man of God, I'm able to stand in that word. Why? Because I have trust in my Lord, and I have trust in the man that he has appointed for me. The king did not have a prophet. The captive girl had a prophet, and she knew of what the prophet could do. She knew of what the power this man of God was able to do. She spoke of a healing to the master. She spoke of the healing that should be made available to the master. If he goes to Samaria and he finds a blind king in Samaria. Glory be to the name of the Lord. May you not be found blind to the things that you should be able to see. May you not be found blind to the opportunities that you should be able to see. And more importantly, may you never be blind to the spiritual things in the house of God. Blessed be the name of the Lord. The king could not see, and he read war. And he said the king is looking for war. The king is looking for an occasion to attack us. Yet what the king wanted is for his general to be made whole. The king received the message from the slave girl, and the king believed the message. And he sent Naaman to the king. And when the Naaman comes to the king, Naaman is expecting either the king will do what the slave girl told him to be done, or the king will summon the prophet. But when the Naaman comes to the king, there is nothing that the king can do. Why? Because the king was blind. Glory be to the name of the Lord. Go to the next verse. Naaman has come to the land, and Naaman seems to receive no help. No help from the king. Verse 8, let's start from verse 8. So it was when Elisha, the man of God, heard that the king of Israel had torn his clothes, that he sent to the king saying, why have you torn your clothes? In other words, there is no reason for you to go to this level. Why have you torn your clothes? Please let him come to me, and he shall know that there is a prophet in Israel. He shall know that there is a prophet in Israel. If Naaman will know that there is a prophet in Israel, the king also will know there is a prophet in Israel. Glory be to the name of the Lord. You must be in a place to see your prophet. Verse 9, then Naaman went with his horses and chariot, and he stood at the door of Elisha's house. And Elisha sent a messenger to him saying, go